Hey guys, welcome back. We got another mixer here sent in by Lisa. This one is a MMA, MMB, I don't know, I can't read it. Let me grab my glasses here. Okay, got the Geeksters on. And this is really oily down here. For some reason, I can see service number 18B. I believe it's a 18B. So, that sounds good to me. This is for service maintenance. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to plug this in and see what she does. Alright, not bad. It's got some issues. You know, you can hear it in the speed control there, but if you look in the back here, I don't know how well you can see this. Looks like it's packed full of crud. So I'm sure once that cap comes off, we're going to find a lot of crud in there. Let me see if I can get this back cap off here quick. Alright. Interesting. Oh, Phillips screw. Not sure if the screw is original or not. I think it's silver, it's black. Oh yeah. Now you can see. Stay put, camera. Now you can see exactly what I was talking about. See all that? All this build up here. There's just gobs of it on here. Alright. Well, now we know this right here is coming off as well. It's like a new way to detach this. Actually, I still have to pull this off here to get to the screw because, you know, it's not supposed to do that. So we'll have to fix that up, which is no big deal because it was going to come apart anyways. Alright, and you can see the amount of crud and everything that's going on inside here as well. There we go, let's get a little light on it. You can see we're going to have to thoroughly scrub everything on here because of all the, I mean, if you can see, that's not just flour on there, there's like oil all over it and stuff, so I'm assuming it was, you know, probably lubricated, somebody tried to lubricate it at some point. Unfortunately, with these machines, they're not really set up for, you know, for users to just lubricate. They just don't seem to work that way. They everything's sealed inside here, and they've got oil wicks in there from the factory, and you can't even get to them just by popping this cover off. You basically have to take everything apart. So we'll get those lubed up since we're going to have everything apart anyways. It's supposed to be, you know, permanently lubricated, and they were. I mean, I guess the lubrication lasted for what they expect to be the life of the mixer, and I really don't think they expected them to last, you know, this long into the future. But it's just a testament to the engineering and the quality that went into all these things, you know. They'll have to get cleaned up. Alright. There's all the organs. There's the heart of it, the brains, the muscles. Alright, let's start digging into, I'm going to take this front piece off and we'll start right here at the gearbox. I got to get something laid out here for some recent parts. Oh, I do got to get this plate off the bottom here too. Yeah, I know the all 16th wrench is a bit of overkill on this, but it was right within reach, so. Alright, there is all kinds of goo and stuff in there. So yeah, this thing was desperately needing a cleaning, so I'm glad they sent this in. Trying to give you guys a really good view here. I've had some complaints about, bad angles, or, I mean, ideally it'd be nice if the camera was right here in front of it, or I could work on it like this, but obviously, if I do that, you can see the screwdriver hits the camera, so, I'm not one of these guys on YouTube that, is professional and, has all the cool equipment and shit. Or all the cool equipment and stuff. I don't have that. So, doing the best I can with what I got. I'm trying to give you guys a better angle without having my arms and hands in the way and stuff. It's a little tricky sometimes. I've got the camera basically right in front of my face. Yeah, all these screws in here seem to be black, so I guess that was the original screw in the back there. Alright, take the cover off this gearbox here. Take a look underneath. Get that cleaned up. No biggie. Let's get these screws out of there. I don't know how that screw's like stuck all of a sudden. It just slid right down in there, now it's stuck. I'll get it out when I get the rest of the stuff off here. Alright, so we got 3 screws back here and then some wire connections that we got to get off. Okay, there's that one. This one runs over to a capacitor that's right there. And these down here, a little trickier to pull off. Okay, way trickier to pull off. Not sure you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I'm trying to turn this. Just trying to pop this connector off here. You know what? I'm gonna start taking this off, and then once I get that out of the way, I can easily get to those connectors on there. Oops. Sorry I keep bumping that. You guys don't realize how close it is to where I'm working here. You know what? I'll take a picture and I'll post it right now. There. Now that you saw that picture, you'll have some idea of what I'm trying to work with here. See, I like putting the camera off to the side of me because that way it's not in the way, and I know it, but I know it's hard for people to see, so I've been trying to compromise here. Alright, so now I should be able to have a little bit more room to pull these off. Okay, so there's the top one. The bottom one is really on there. There we go. Sort of. Alright, and here's our, wow, look at that resistor. Little fat boy. Never actually seen one look like that before. I'll pop this out and we'll test that in a minute. This thing has got flour all over it. Here's their on-off switch. Right there. And of course this is your contacts right here for the speed control. And you can tell they look good and beefy. Quite a bit of meat left on those still. Alright, let me start in here now. There's half an O-ring. That's all it is just one half of it, and it goes in the right here, and that slot right there. I think that's just to seal anything to keep it from getting in the motor there. But anyways, I'm going to start taking off these brushes here, and then we'll pull the whole motor assembly out. Oh, nice, right in the grease. And we'll pull the whole motor assembly out in one shot. Alright, I'll do this without sending brushes flying. There we go. Brushes look decent. I mean, there's a lot of carbon and crap on there. I don't know if you can see the edge of that brush there. Right here. You can see I can wipe that right off. That's a sticky, gooey thing, so we'll have to clean that up with some cleaner. Alright, now to pull this assembly. I got 2 screws here. Tilt this so you can see. I gotta take these out, and then the 2 that hold the field coil in, and then this whole thing will lift up, wires and all. The only thing left behind will be those gears. I'll have to, oops, sorry guys, dang it, this thing is right in the way. I get to stop shaking. Don't want anybody to have, like, think they're having seizures or something. If I can get, I don't know what I was going to say. Right. Take that cover off. Wow, you can see there's even flour buildup inside of there. Yeah, I don't know anybody else that does personally, that does videos on YouTube. I don't know how they get, good camera angles without the camera being all in their way. I really don't know. I wonder if there's a YouTube video about how to do that. Alright, so make sure all our electrical stuff is loose here and ready to get lifted out. And just gotta get our capacitor out. There we go. There's the entire motor assembly in one shot. And you can see this thing is grungy. I mean, we're gonna have to spray this whole thing down with some QD, and I'll have to clean this armature up here. We'll get that whole thing all cleaned up and it'll look like new before we put it back in there. And here's that little pin that goes to the speed control. Alright, little piece of cardboard. I hate these things because they go over the vent there, but they basically limit the room in here where the air circulates through. And I believe the air on this one sucks in through here and blows out the back. But you see that they always get clogged full of stuff, and eventually it'll clog that hole up completely. Just because it's like trying to suck everything through a small hole, so it clogs easier. Half the time I don't, or most of the time I don't even put these things back in. Alright, so this thing is nasty, but I gotta get these gears out of here now, and to do that I gotta pop these off. So I think what I'm going to do is, you guys have seen that before, I just pop these caps off here and then these gears pull straight out and I can get everything cleaned up and all that. So I think what I'm going to do is set that aside, see what's up with this resistor here. So I got to make a bare spot on it, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got some bare metal showing on there, so now I can test it. And yesterday I rediscovered that I've actually got a foot on this thing. So I can prop it up. I don't have to lean it up against something. I forgot all about that. I've had this thing for forever. I can't even remember how long. Alright, you can see on here the resistance is too low on there, so this will have to get rebuilt. But I'm still surprised at how fat looking that thing is. It looks like it's swelled right up. I don't know what the deal is with it, but when these things start to get too low a resistance like that, it kind of messes up your speed control. I'm noticing on like the one I'm working on one right now that's got an issue where it just keeps overheating the resistors on it. Everything tests good, but it overheats any resistor I put in there, and I'm trying to work on it. But as the hotter these get, the lower your resistance. It lowers the resistance on it big time. It should be 180 ohms, and get this thing good and hot. Like really hot, and you may be down to like 120, 110 ohms, and that's not enough for the way the circuit works on here. As the points open and close, this is supposed to take the current, being that it's going through the path of least resistance. But what happens is more of it will go through here once the resistance drops on it when it gets hot. More of it will continue to go through here as opposed to going through the points. And basically what that does, you'll hear the speed on it, and when you have it on low, you'll hear the speed start, slowly starting to increase and run faster and faster as as it does that, because you got all your current going through here. This of course gets hotter and hotter, and the resistance goes lower and lower. But yeah, this one we'll rebuild this one here and put it back in here, and that'll be good to go. Alright, so I got a lot of parts to clean up here, so I'm going to get on that and we'll come back and put it back together. Just in case you guys were curious when this was made, this is actually marked. Let's see if I can focus it on that. November 20th, 1984. I love when you find the dates in these. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you guys quick. this one all wrapped up. I don't know how the video turned out. I was having issues with the camera. It just kept shutting off for some reason. So I don't know if I'm adding any of the video and reassembly back to this, or if it's going to be bits and pieces. When I get to editing it, we'll see how it is. But anyways, we had this one all wrapped up. Everything has been cleaned inside. The brushes were good in here. We cleaned out all the old grease and changed that. There was the holes where the oil wicks normally go. There was no oil wicks in here at all. So I just packed them with some wool felt and loaded them up good with oil. So those are in there. The resistor, of course, was bad, so we replaced that. And we're ready to fire this thing up and give it a listen to. So without further ado, let's see what it sounds like. Alright, so as you can tell, it runs smooth through all the gears, and it's ready to go back home and get put back to work there. It's a nice little mixer, pretty powerful, from the 1980s, as you saw during disassembly. It's stamped right on the armature there. So it's funny how this is designed from the 60s, and it carried all the way through to the 80s, which is pretty neat. Obviously the stand doesn't go with it. This came without the stand, so I just put it on here to make it easier to work on it and run it and all that. So, but anyways, if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below, and I'll get back to those as soon as I can. And as always, we will see you on the next one. Thanks.